Hi, I'm Jamie, your brother. Shall I go again? Okay, I'm ready. Hi, I'm Jamie. Why are you laughing? Right.
I was going to say we can just see you shaking, but of course you can.
Hi, I'm Jamie. Hi, Emma. Hi, I'm Jamie.
I'm sorry.
Hi, I'm Jamie. I'm Emma's brother.
Hi, I'm Katie. I'm Emma's sister-in-law.
Hi guys.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Good.
How are you? You alright?
Yeah, well, I haven't got a drink. I feel left out.
Just fizzy water.
Yeah, non-alcoholic beer.
Thought so. Thought so. So I'm going to ask you some questions about Parkinson's. We don't really ever that much talk about Parkinson's other than what a pain in the arse it is, because I realised this when I spoke to Mum and Dad. We as a family just sort of get on with it a little bit and just sort of we talk about it when need to. It's not like we brush it under the carpet, but we've never really had like a discussion about how we feel about it. So this is therapy, guys. Let's do this. Okay, so do you remember the day that I told you that I got Parkinson's, the day that I was diagnosed? Can you remember what?
I don't remember like the specific phone call. I know it must have happened, but I don't know if it's because you like breezed over it and you're like quite chilled about it. Obviously we've been like, there'd been a build up. There was a build up before the phone call.
I think we were all kind of bracing ourselves for, there were a few options it could be, and I remember you and your mum saying like, oh, Parkinson's would actually be the lesser of all of the evils type thing. And so actually I'm the same. I don't remember exactly when it was, but I just remember almost being like, okay, that's fine, that's manageable, and being like almost relieved that it was that. And then both neither of us really knew actually what it was, other than the obvious from like famous people like Michael J. Fox, and there being like tremors and stuff involved. And like since we kind of learned more, like I personally didn't know anything about like the dopamine side of it, or like how like personality changes and stuff change. And
I think like initially I did the very like surface level of Googling, where it was like is it life threatening? I didn't really know a lot about it. Is it life threatening? Can it be cured? And
when you see like at the moment, no, it's not curable, it's like, okay, so what impact is this going to have, like short term, long term, like what are the options?
Yeah, I think when we first found out, it was almost, there was a little bit of like relief in there, because there were other scarier things on the table. And also, you know when someone finally gives like a name to something, when someone goes, it is Parkinson's, then also it's like all those months of wondering, it's a relief that that's come to an end and you actually know what it is, and put a name on something.
It was quite, from memory, it was quite like a slow like accumulation of symptoms, because I only just started seeing Jamie, and I remember being at dinner and like one of your wrists was quite weak and you were kind of hiding it under the table and stuff, and at the same time you were saying about like stomach pains and bits and pieces, and so it was almost like at the time doctors were treating those as two separate things entirely. And then that was going on for quite a while, because I remember like your dad, and particularly your dad, but like both of your parents, like saying you need to go and see someone, this isn't funny, come on. And then you saw someone, and actually you needed someone who was kind of able to look at all of your symptoms, kind of to go, okay, here's the fact sheet, what are you feeling? Oh, actually these things coincide.
Like I'd forgotten the months of the claw, and obviously there was all that time that we didn't know why you couldn't clench. Or
We just kind of
like,
laughed
wait,
about
one-
it a little bit, didn't we? We just kind of joked about it because it was just kind of weird and funny.
It was definitely like, I remember Ned being like, oh, like squeeze my hand, and you being like claw and just like nothing. And then it was just like, oh, laughing about it, but then also like, okay, no, but seriously now, I've got to get that looked at, but then laughing some more at it.
Yeah.
A bit of a slow kind of onslaught, wasn't it?
But then I can also remember, the whole thing about you were having stomach problems, and it's ridiculous that those two are linked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know.
Yeah, it's totally weird, like that actually when you start taking the medication it kind of starts to fix things you didn't even know were symptoms of Parkinson's. I mean, there's things that I can trace back, I've always been really bad at sort of making decisions around emotional stuff. I used to call mum and go around in circles every time I was about to go through a breakup or something, and she used to drive her mad. Like, I'd go around in circles and kind of go back on myself and change my mind and just cry for hours, and like, I'm much more decisive now on the medication, and it's like brutal. We say brutal, but it's really funny that actually things like that and kind of clarity of thought and loads of things that aren't motor conditions that you just wouldn't associate with Parkinson's have actually been helped by the medication. I can vividly remember calling you because I was really worried about calling you. I can remember coming out of the hospital and I was really aware that Mum, Dad and I had been in. Well, Dad didn't come in initially. Mum and I went in and then Dad came to join us in the doctor's room. And I remember being really aware that you weren't with us and you were the first person I was going to have to tell over the phone. And I remember going into this little garden opposite the hospital, which was, I think, someone's front garden. It's a bit of a weird place to make a call like that from. And I remember telling you really vividly because I think I was so scared about like whether you were okay because you were at work. And I was like, I've got Mum and Dad with me, but you're at work. What if you feel like crap when I tell you this? But it's pretty vivid to me, but I think that's because you were like the first person I told and I was really scared about it. And also like when you tell someone for the first time it kind of dawns on you, I think, properly. So it was like the first time I was saying it was like, oh my god, I'm actually like saying the words I have Parkinson's. This is weird. It's really weird.
Yeah. But I can remember like even I can't remember the phone call, but I can remember like afterwards not thinking, God, you were like there wasn't a sense of like worry or there wasn't when I don't know, you seemed quite positive about it and it was like almost like matter of fact and this is what I've got.
It's quite unusual because usually with Jamie, if he is worried about something that he needs to see a doctor about, if I'm freaking out on his behalf, then he'll really calm down. But if I'm like trying to play it down, trying to play it cool, like, no, you're fine, your arm isn't about to fall off, then he freaks out instead. He's like, why are you taking it seriously enough? Like, what? And so it's really strange to hear you say that because Emma was so like calm about it, you didn't freak out.
But I think that's because I didn't know what Parkinson's was.
Yeah.
Well, I at that stage I was still in.
But for me, it's the fear of the unknown freaked me out more than actually knowing the facts.
Yeah.
So I would like jump on Google and like all kinds of sites and try and like find out more. But that's probably more harm than good, I guess.
I've self-diagnosed myself with Parkinson's.
Oh yeah, I've lost a day's holiday to take him to Coventry Hospital for him to get checks for Parkinson's / carpal
But that's an actual thing. That is an actual thing. I mean, I remember speaking to someone about it because I had similar problems with other people in my life who did the same. And I think it's actually when you get diagnosed with when someone you love gets diagnosed with something that you thought was never an option before, apparently it hits you in that way. I've been told by kind of clinicians and stuff it's an actual thing.
Yeah.
Well, Jamie was just sat on his hand for too long and it went dead. So there was literally no reason for it. Because it happened to him and he was like, oh, my hands feels funny and whatever. And then we'd gone to the doctors and this whole nerve-ending hospital test had happened. And then I was sat on the sofa and I'd been leaning on my hand too long, on my elbow. And so my fingers started twitching. And I went, oh, look, I've got a dead hand. And he looked at my fingers like without, and I couldn't control them. And he was going, that's what I had. I was like, that's just a dead hand, Jamie. Why are you serious that we went to the doctor? doctors.
I'd like to
for
think
this.
I had some sort of like trapped nerve or something.
Nothing.
Something.
They literally hooked up like everything to you in your phone.
But I've spoken to Dad, and Dad said that he's like at times since you were diagnosed, he's thought, oh God, have I got it? Like,
Yeah.
Really?
I think.
It's understandable, completely understandable.
Yeah, I can remember even talking to you on the phone, and you said, "Do you get the same feeling in both hands?" And I was like, "Yeah," and you were like, "Well, you only get it on one side."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So,
it's a legit thing. Apparently, it happens in a lot of cases. People who are close to people, because it's almost like it's a condition you'd never expect to get as a younger person, and it suddenly becomes something that's like an actual thing that people can get around you, and it suddenly opens it up as being a potential, like an actual, it could happen. And I think that according to like doctors and stuff, that means that a lot of people close to people with Parkinson's often think they have Parkinson's.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
So you're not crazy. You just love me. You've got that like what is it? That thing where you like sympathy pains.
Yeah.
Obviously, you did that sort of initial Googling, which I think we all did, around the time I was diagnosed, because no one ever really knows anything about Parkinson's. It's not really something you know about unless you've kind of had your life touched by it, because you don't go around gelling up on all sorts of kind of, it's not the most common illness, and you don't kind of know about everything. So how would you say your thoughts have changed since diagnosis about Parkinson's? Have you learned anything that's kind of confused you, interested you, surprised you?
I think for obviously the initial bits that I saw in you, like the symptoms that I saw in you were like the tremors, the shakes, bits like that. I think since then I've realised that there's actually more going on like under the surface, and equally some things that I thought were related to Parkinson's might actually be related to the medication or like side effects from the medication. So
I mean, for me, my biggest concern is that there are these personality changes, and since you've become a sex pest and a gambling addict, like, I don't know if you need to intervene. That's my biggest concern.
This isn't an interview for us. We're just sitting down with you now.
It's an intervention, is it? It's an intervention.
Intervention, yeah.
This is maybe like half an hour of my time that I won't be now gambling or being a sex pest, so thanks for that, guys.
We'll book these in every day this week.
But yeah, I didn't realise that was a thing. But is that because of the medication, or is that because
medication.
So
that's the craziest thing, isn't it? Like, I don't know, genuinely, I don't have the patience to put up with like paracetamol that don't like knock a headache on the head.
Yeah.
Let alone like how anyone with Parkinson's deals with like, oh, this medication isn't available, let alone isn't the one that finally got sorted. Like, that's crazy.
So much of it doesn't even really work. So it's like you're getting these weird side effects, and then the medication sometimes doesn't work. So it's frustrating because you're not. I mean, I'm like you. I'm so used to taking paracetamol or something and it working and it fixing and doing what it's supposed to do that actually the medication is so sensitive to diet and sleep and all sorts of nonsense that, and just even your own like metabolism, it's just your body is fighting against the meds all the time and going, nah, not now, I don't think I want it. And so when it works, it's a miracle, and but then the side effects always happen. So it's like, you're constantly playing a game of like, do I want to be able to move, but have like a complete shopping habit? Or do I want to, do I want to be able to kind of, the thing...
Can you blame that on the medication?
You what, sorry?
Can you blame that on the medication?
That definitely happened before. You can't blame stuff that was already around before, I don't think. You can try, but no one will believe you. I think I've always been like that, to be honest, haven't I? So...
It's an excuse for the trainers.
I remember I wrote it in my book actually about when I was in my appointment and the nurse was telling me about all the side effects to do with addiction, and like she said about shopping addiction, she looked down at my trainers and they were like brand new, and I was just sat there looking at Mum like, this is awkward. So if Parkinson's was stood in front of you right now, what would you say to it? And you can swear if you want to.
Fuck off.
Fuck off.
Yeah. questions the other day, and I felt like saying to it, like it's that kind of do unto others. Like you would like it if we gave you Parkinson's, Parkinson's, whatever. Like, no, enough now. Do one.
Yeah.
Agreed, says Jamie. Agreed.
When you say when we're talking to Parkinson's, right? This is the sort of question, like in an interview, where it's like, "Where do you see yourself in 5 years?"
Describe yourself in 3 weeks.
That I really struggle with. But are we talking to Parkinson's as in this is what's causing the disease, or this is all of the disease? So like we're just talking to
so literal.
all of the symptoms of Parkinson's.
Scott did.
I'm not going to tell like something that's got a tremor to fuck off. If Parkinson's is a thing that stood in front of me that has all the symptoms of the disease, I'm not going to go fuck off.
You're going to say, sit down, are you okay? Do you need some dopamine?
yeah, because
it's the thing that's causing it then. It's the thing that's causing it.
It's the thing that's causing it. Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah.
Well, that was easy.
That's fine.
Weird question. That was very high pitched.
It's a great question. Just like my questions off. A bad workman blames his tools. If you had the opportunity to talk to a friend or family of someone that had just been diagnosed with Parkinson's, what advice would you give them based on what you've learned over the last 5 years?
I'd say kind of like take each day as it comes type thing, because like you guys are absolute heroes, and I don't know how you do it in terms of like I never see kind of blowouts of like emotion or whatever. It's just like try and always see everything as positively or in a funny way as possible. And
did you not witness me the other night when I was like, when you said to me that my neck was better, and I was like, no, it's not.
See, I mean, I might have had a gin with dinner, and I don't really remember the response to this. I heard about it the next day. I don't know.
I don't remember it either, so we're good. It never happened.
But like everyone is obviously entitled to their like off days and stuff. So I would just say no pressure. It's not gonna kill you. It's gonna be a absolute bullbuster in terms of finding medication that works for you, and there'll be new things you learn about it all the time, and it's whatever works for you. So just don't try not to stress too much and take each day as it comes, and then try and, I know it's easier said than done, but like try and have as positive an outlook as you can, because it can be done.
Well, I think some bits of the day to day will change inevitably, but like we'll see each other and we might do different things, but actually the relationship hasn't changed. We're not any different around one another.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of the time, what we're doing hasn't changed either.
Yeah, and you just have, I think, like what you said a second ago, you have to kind of be patient with yourself. Like, I remember you saying that you'd like get up at whatever time in the night to do your eyeliner or to paint your nails, and it's like, yeah, things are going to change, but the end result, like you still got your makeup done, you still got your nails, and you still feel like you still feel like, you know, you're able to feel like Emma pre-diagnosis. So
are you showing your nails?
No, I'm showing you like how unpainted my nails are and how trashy my face is.
But I think like at the minute, so we obviously saw each other at the weekend. I couldn't. Your Parkinson's symptoms weren't that bad to me, and obviously like there could be more going on. I'm looking at like the tremors and bits like that, which weren't awful. There were times where you weren't like, I don't know, where you weren't up to date on the meds or whatever, where there were tremors, but it's not the worst that I've seen you. And at the minute, like the issue is the neck, and like neck gate is like covering the Parkinson's.
Next it.
Neck is covering like the Parkinson's symptoms, and actually like the neck could be entirely unrelated to Parkinson's.
It is,
could be pretty much. It's unrelated.
You don't have to be like a nodding dog saying, yeah, okay, the professionals know everything. Sometimes, as your neck has proven, we hope and think now, actually, you don't need to kind of sit and wait for the Parkinson's professionals to say their piece. Actually, not everything is going to be Parkinson's related, even though it might feel like it. And actually, don't lose your voice, because not everything's going to be only over Parkinson's. You could simply have slipped a disc on a flight from Portland, or anything.
Just, that's just one thing that could happen.
At the end of the day, Parkinson's is one thing, but everything that could happen to you or I could also happen to Emma. Like, we could be sat on a plane and something happens to us, and then it becomes worse and worse.
We could both recently have a stomach bug.
The difficulty is that everyone at first just sees Parkinson's, and then they're too scared to go, oh no, we dared treat something because it might not be this, might not be that, and they get chicken shit scared. And actually, it's down to the family or the person to go, no, this isn't good enough, like, I need more to happen. So don't lose your voice. Yeah, and if you ever don't feel like you can be the bolshy cow in the doctor's waiting room, then you've got a whole family of people willing to go, no.
Teamwork.
My army.
Yeah, exactly.